Okay, so this is multi-step equations review, pretty much what we've been covering the last couple of days. Just remember your steps as you follow through each question. The first thing we always look for, if there's any set of parentheses, then we need to distribute that value that's outside the parentheses. So number one, there is no set of parentheses that I need to worry about, so I can skip step one. But then step two says I need to combine like terms. That means terms with the same last name. So number one, if I look on the left side, 6x and negative 8x are like terms because they both have an x. So read it left to right. 6x's minus 8x's is negative 2x's. Nothing to combine with positive 3 on this side, so I'm going to bring it down. And there's nothing to combine on the right side of the equation, so I bring down 13. Then it becomes a simple two-step. So we follow SADMEP as we're working through the two-step, which means I take care of any subtraction or addition first. So since I see plus 3, the inverse of adding 3 is to subtract 3 to both sides. So I have negative 2x, the 3's cancel, 13 minus 3 is 10. And then the next step is division or multiplication. Since I see multiplying negative 2 times x, the inverse of that is to divide by negative 2 to both sides. So x, because those negative 2's cancel, equals 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. Number 2, there's no distribution to take care of, so I'm going to combine like terms where necessary. So if I look on the left side, there are 3x's plus 2x's plus another x. All three are like terms, so read it from left to right. 3x plus 2x is 5x, and 5x plus one more x is 6x. There's nothing to combine with negative 8, so I bring it down. There's nothing to combine with 40 on the right side, so I bring it down. Then it becomes a simple two-step. I need to take care of the subtraction before I can divide. So the inverse of minus 8 is to add 8 to both sides. So 6x, because the 8's cancel, equal 40 plus 8 is 48. Then I divide by 6, because the inverse of multiplication is division. So x equals 48 divided by 6 is 8. Yes, 8. Okay, continuing, number 3. Okay, so there is a set of parentheses here, so I need to distribute whatever values outside the parentheses. There's nothing to distribute on the left side, so 17 comes down. I'm going to distribute the 3. So 3 times 1g is 3g. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. And that does not apply to the positive 8 outside because it's not inside the parentheses, so I'm just going to bring it down. Step 2 says then we combine like terms, so 17 comes down. On the right side, nothing to combine with 3g, so I bring it down. But negative 15 plus 8 are like terms, and negative 15 plus 8 is negative 7. Watch your signs. Then I can follow a simple two-step. So I'm going to add 7, which is the inverse of subtracting 7. 17 plus 7 is 24, equals 3g, because these 7's cancel. Divide by 3 to both sides, so 8 equals g, or g equals 8. Number 4, there is distribution, so I'm going to distribute this negative 2. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Negative 2 times negative 1d is positive 2d. And that does not apply to the 5d, so I'm going to bring it down, equals 8. Then I look for like terms. I have 2d plus 5d. So plus 2d and plus 5d make 7d. And minus 6, because it does not combine with anything, equals 8. Then I add 6 because that's the inverse of subtracting 6. I have 7d, 6's cancel, equals 8 plus 6, which is 14. Then I can divide by 7, d equals 2. Number 5, there's nothing to distribute and there's nothing to combine because if I look on the left side, nothing to combine. On the right side, nothing to combine. But we have been skipping our third step. And our third step only applies to this one because it didn't apply to the others, is when I need to move that variable. So I need to move 3x over to the left side. So think about this. The opposite of positive 3x is negative 3x to both sides, and that goes under the 5x. So 5x's minus 3x's is 2x. I bring down that minus 2 equals, the 3x's cancel, so it equals 4. Then it becomes a simple 2-step. So the inverse of minus 2 is to add 2. And 2x, because the 2's cancel, equals 4 plus 2, which is 6. Divide by 2, so x equals 6 divided by 2 is 3. Number 6, there is distribution, so I'm going to distribute the 2. 2 times 1y is 2y. 2 times positive 6 is 12, equals 3y. Then I'm going to, here is a little tricky, so there's multiple ways to do this, but we're so used to seeing the variable on the left, so I'm going to move 3y over to the left. And so the inverse of, or the opposite of positive 3y is to subtract 3y. Oops. Then it's 2y minus 3y is negative y plus 12 equals 0. Because over here everything cancels, so I have to have a value there, so equals 0. Then I'm going to subtract 12 to both sides. So I can get negative y by itself equals 0 minus 12 is negative 12. If I do divide by negative 1 here, because there is a negative 1 there, negative 12 divided by negative 1 is positive 12. Okay, so there is some distribution on number 7. Nothing on the left, so I'm going to bring it down. Then I can distribute on the right. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times negative 2k is negative 6k. Then I move the variables to whichever side. So I'm going to move negative 6k. The opposite of minus 6k is to add 6k. That applies to the 2k. 2k's plus 6k's is 8k's. Minus 5 equals 3 because those 6's cancel. Then I add 5. 8k equals 3 plus 5 is 8. Then I can divide by 8 to both sides. So k equals positive 1. Number 8 gets a little trickier because it seems a little tougher, so let's go through it. First, take care of any distribution. There's nothing to distribute on the left, so I'm going to go ahead and copy all of this down. If I look on the right side, I can distribute this negative 2 to the parentheses. So negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 1b is plus 2b. Okay, watch your signs there. Then I look for like terms. So if I look on the left side of the equation, I can combine negative 5b plus 2b. I'm going to bring down that negative 14. Negative 5b plus 2b is negative 3b. If I look on the right side, I can combine negative 2 and negative 2. Negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4 plus 2b because nothing can combine with 2b. Then I want to move that variable to the left, so I'm going to, the opposite of positive 2b is to subtract 2b. So I have negative 14, negative 3 minus 2b is negative 5b equals negative 4 and cancels the 2b's. Then I want to get b by itself, so the opposite of negative 14 is to add 14. So negative 5b equals negative 4 plus 14 is positive 10. I can divide by negative 5, so b equals 10 divided by negative 5 is negative 2. Okay, just because we introduce fractions does not mean it makes it any harder, so use your calculator for a lot of this. So there's nothing to distribute on this problem, and there's nothing to combine. There's no variable to move, so I'm just going to become a simple 2-step. So I cannot divide by 2/7 until I get rid of the subtraction. So the inverse of subtracting 1/7 is to add 1/7 to both sides. So I have 2/7d equals, because those 1/7s cancel, and I'm going to, in my calculator, add 3/14 plus 1/7. I get 5/14. Okay, and remember about fractions. Yes, technically I would divide by 2/7, but the inverse, or when you divide by a fraction, you flip it and multiply. So I'm going to multiply by 7/2 to both sides, so that way that cancels. I have d equals, then I'm going to type it in my calculator, 5/14 times 7/2 is 5/4, and we do get a fraction answer for that one. Taking those fractions into consideration for number 10, okay, there's nothing to distribute, there's nothing to combine, so I'm going to simply do a 2-step. The inverse of adding 1/4 is to subtract 1/4. So I have 1/3 x equals, because those 1/4 cancel, I'm going to do 5/12 minus 1/4 is 1/6. Oops. Okay, and then the invert, or so to divide by a fraction is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply by 3/1 to both sides, so that way those cancel. X equals 1/6 times 3/1 equals 1/2. So you have to trust the calculator with the math. Okay, keeping that together, let's finish the last two. Distribution. So on the left, I can distribute. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times +2 is +4. Equals, there's nothing to distribute on the right side, so I'm going to bring everything down. Then we look for combining like terms. Nothing to combine on the left, so I'm going to bring it down. 4x's minus 2x's is 2x plus 1, because nothing combines with +1 on that side. Then I move the x to the left side, so the opposite of +2x is minus 2x. 2x's minus 2x's cancel, and this is 4 equals negative 2x and negative 2x cancel, and I'm left with this. So if you remember our lesson a few days ago, you did all the work correctly, you know you did, you get to the very bottom and you see something like this. So ask yourself, does 4 equal 1? And if it doesn't, that means it's not true, which means we call it no solution. And another way to write that is a 0 with a line through it, no solution, or empty set can be another way to write it. Okay, so that's a special case. If I look at number 12, okay, I look for any distributing. There's nothing on the left side, so I'm going to just bring it down. 2 times 4x is 8x. 2 times -7 is -14. That does not apply to the 25. Then I look for combining like terms. There's nothing to combine on the left side, so I bring it down. I can combine -14 and 25. So -14 plus 25 is +11. Then I move the x's to the left side, so the opposite of +8x is to subtract 8x. 8x's minus 8x cancels, and I have 11 on this side. 8x minus 8x is 0, so I have 11 on this side. So just like the last, ask yourself this question, does 11 equal 11? And since it does, my answer is infinite solutions. Or you can use the infinity symbol, or you can use the most common algebraically is all reals, which looks like a double R.